In today's age, we find ourselves glued to our phone screen, a computer screen, or maybe a TV screen, whether that be for work, entertainment, or connecting with family and friends. We spend a large amount of our day on these devices, right? Now, the issue arises when we start talking about balance. There needs to be a balance to everything, and here's why. So, as someone who has experienced the overwhelming effects of constant digital engagement on my mental state, I firsthand could tell you it leads to burnout. It's terrible for your mind for plenty of reasons, and we will dive into why it's important to take a digital detox. So, the reason this is important is because we are all so attached to our phones, our computers, our electronics nowadays, right? And it's kind of crazy that I'm telling you that while I'm recording myself on my phone for class, right? But it just goes to show how connected we are to these devices and the internet nowadays. So let's examine how the internet affects our daily lives. So I know for many of us, we wake up, probably check our phone before we do anything else, right? Before we even completely open our eyes, right? Check your phone, just constantly on them. And then, a lot of us, like, we'll be listening to music off our phones, listening to a podcast while we do things like, brush our teeth, shower, all that, get on the phone with family, right? And the issue starts to become whenever we are spending too much on times on our phone and disassociating with reality, right? So when you're walking from class to class and you're on your phone, not paying attention to the real life, when you're in class on your phone, there is a clear distinction of like when this become an issue, and it may be different for everyone, right? Some of us might be on a phone half their day, almost the whole time they're awake, but it might be because you are working in business or sales and you have to be on the internet conducting calls with clients or other people. So that might not be an issue, but whenever you're standing in line at a grocery store and you're so disassociated, not paying attention to your surroundings and not enjoying reality at all, that is an issue. And this is why it's an issue. So dopamine is it's similar to serotonin, which is called our feel good chemical in our body, right? The serotonin mostly comes from like nutrition, having a healthy gut, and it's what like balances your mood, and that kind of does keeps you balanced and not making you go up and down throughout the whole day, right? It kind of stabilizes, it's a stabilizer to your mood. Now dopamine is almost like the opposite of a depression, right? So that feeling when you ace an exam, you buy a brand new car and you're just so happy, you save up for months to get this one thing you've been wanting and you finally get it. You've been working on this one goal and you finally achieve it. That super big spike that you feel you're on top of the world. Well, our phones do that for us, right? They're instant gratification. You want to see something, you see it. Whatever you want, you get it. And whatever you need, it's on your fingertips, right? And the access to the internet has done that. We are so desensitized to dopamine that it is harming us, right? It's so too easy to get that gratification that it's destroying the way our chemicals work in our body, right? Our ancestors did not get dopamine that easy, right? They're not able to scroll through Instagram and see all these people they're attracted to our ancestors back in the days maybe only seen 5 people they found attractive in their entire lives, right? And these are things that you have to consider, like, this is doing more harm to my mind than not, right? And it becomes an issue because it destroys your dopamine and your relationship to those loved ones and family, friends, right? It makes you more anxious to social interaction just because you're not practicing it enough. You're not living in the real realm, right? So there are many harmful effects, right? So now what we have to understand is how do we fix it, right? What do we do? So this is what we're gonna do. So detoxing, right? So we don't have to just from one day to another, hey, throw away your phone and forget about it. No, right? It's almost necessary in our lives nowadays. So let's talk about a real implementation of a detox. This can begin by taking the first 10 minutes of your day to not touch your phone, right? Take those first 10 to 30 minutes to wake up, do your bed, brush your teeth, get ready for the day and being aware. So you let your body kind of wake up and stabilize. The same way you don't want to drink caffeine in the morning as soon as you wake up because then you get that crash. We don't want to be consuming the internet that early, right? In our phones, right? We don't need that early. We need to just practice just waking up and letting our chemicals in our body balance themselves, right? Not throwing them off as soon as we wake up. Another thing, right? So say if you're walking from your car to class or class to class, practice not being on your phone. Practice not listening to music, not listening to a podcast. If you're sitting down to eat, practice. I'm guilty of this one too. Eating while on your phone, right? Watching. You have to be watching something. Let's refrain from that, right? Let's take these little things that add up over time, in these little moments, and let's take that time to ground ourselves, right? To get our minds back balanced, right? Our chemicals back balanced in the mind. And I think it at the end of the day, the benefits of this are going to be that you're going to have better social interactions. You're going to have stronger relationships with your spouse, mother, father, children, even random people, right? You're gonna have more meaningful quality interactions when you put that first, right? What really matters. So in conclusion, right, the internet has impacted our entire lives, right? I'm not saying that we need to completely get rid of it and that you should, but we do need to be aware of a balance, right? And balance can be the hardest thing to do, and that's with everything in life. I think we have an issue with balance in general, right? But we need to try to achieve that balance, right? To get the benefits of stabilizing our moods, right? And getting that detox. So it's essential just to remember that disconnecting every now and then from something that is not reality is going to be great for you, right? We need to connect to the world around us, and we must take the time for balance. Balance, balance, balance. Thank you guys for listening to me. I hope that you get out there and make a conscious effort to find that balance in digital.